What's with the pan?
Marcus, that's my pan. Why do you have my pan?
We're the Couch Potatoes, and today we're going to be reviewing The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, so welcome back. Marcus, what's with the glasses?
I want to see you guys fight. You're tearing this couch apart!
You quote that movie again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Alright, today we're going to be reviewing The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I know that we reviewed this already, but today we're going to do a spoiler-free review, because this asshole finally watched the movie.
I had family involvement with this film, so I had to wait. Now, before we start this movie, obviously, because we're doing it a little bit later, we're going to start off with talking about the first two films quickly. Batman Begins. Batman Begins came out in what, 2004, 2003?
I think so.
Okay. When that film came out, nobody knew what to expect. Came out and became a huge success. In my opinion, that's still the best of this series. For me personally. What about you guys with Begins?
I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say the best of the series. I think it's a really good origin story. A good origin story film. It was done in a way where you didn't see it before. Like Ra's al Ghul training Batman was a really good premise.
Marcus?
I actually was extremely upset about it because, you know, it's like, oh my god, another Batman movie. You know, it's like I've seen all of them.
Another one, you know, with a 10-year gap in between.
Yeah, you know. So it's like, oh my god, great, another one. You know, like I said in the last review, you know, I didn't see it until like a few years after it had come out and everything. I was like, oh wow, it was pretty good. It was pretty decent. All right.
Yeah. And then in 2008,
yes,
we got The Dark Knight, which to a lot of people is considered to be one of the best superhero films ever created.
Whoa. Batman is not a superhero. He is a vigilante or crime fighter.
Whatever. One of the best comic book films made to date.
There we go.
We've had this talk before on the show a couple times. In my opinion, that it is the worst of the series. But we've talked about this like 10,000 times on this show
I think
already.
we should move on before something happens.
Like me killing you. But, Marcus, what did you think of Dark Knight?
After, you know, the whole Batman Begins thing and all that stuff, seeing the trailer, I was like, oh my god, now they're going to do a sequel. You know, this was in the whole period of people doing sequels after sequel, and the whole Halloween thing, like, I was just completely jaded. And then I saw it and I was like, I'm complete.
Josh?
Are you kidding me?
Josh?
Mark Josh?
Mark it and say it.
I love the movie.
Good. Okay. Now we move on to the
Are you
next
shocked?
film.
I mean, like...
No. We're moving on to the next film, which is a film that came out about 2 weeks ago called The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
Okay. Dark Knight Rises. This got announced in about 2009, 2010.
Yes.
So around the time all three of us graduated high school.
Yeah, a good amount of time after Inception came out.
So literally, I think we all graduated high school around the time this was officially announced.
Yes.
And the first thing I kept hearing was two things. Either Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to play the Riddler, or Philip Seymour Hoffman was going to play the Penguin.
Yes.
Or Johnny Depp was going to play the Joker. Those were like the three things I kept hearing from everybody. And before I even knew the news, I actually said I wanted to see a cool Bane.
Yes. We discussed this in our review. Bane is my favorite supervillain. Like, I've discussed this,
Yeah, you didn't put him on your list.
No, because we didn't put him on the list in
because he came out this year.
Yes,
that's correct.
But Bane is my favorite villain, and the thing is, when I heard the news that it was going to be Bane, I was both happy and angry, because the last time it was Schumacher, and we'd gone through that.
Boom!
But I was happy because I was like, okay, if anyone's going to do this right, it's Christopher Nolan. And as soon as they announced Tom Hardy, I was like, oh my god, that is the only person that can do Bane. Like, in today, like, right now, that's the only actor who can do Bane.
Marcus?
Like for hearing The Dark Knight Rises, unlike Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, I was like, fucking A, yes, let's do it. I'm so excited. And then hearing the possible, you know, villains and all that stuff, I heard Jim Carrey
reprise the Riddler.
reprise the Riddler. Even
Which that would have never happened.
Eddie
I don't
Murphy
know.
That
to
would
do
have
the
never
Riddler.
happened.
There was something. With
Oh
Eddie
my
Murphy.
god!
I was like,
I remember that.
what the hell? Maybe back in Beverly Hills Cop days, but Meet Dave? No.
Okay. Now, we're going to do the review a little bit different today because this is not going to be a structured review. It's going to be an all-out battle for a few minutes. Okay, guys. So, we're going to start off with the fun one. As a whole, how was this film to you? If you had problems, what was it? What did you love about it?
My question is, when you say as a whole, do you mean as a whole as the film by itself, or as a whole with the trilogy?
Itself. We're just talking about itself. The
Okay.
trilogy's for the end of this. Josh?
Well, I gotta say, going into this movie, I had high expectations, and I can honestly say this, and this is my huge argument about this movie. I got everything I wanted, and then some, from this movie, and for that, I gave it a perfect score, because I got what I wanted.
Okay. Now, this has been the fun part about me and Josh in this series already. I'm not the biggest Nolan fan. To this day, he has not made the film that has blown me away. The closest one so far was
Prestige?
Begins, or Insomnia. Prestige is a great film, but Insomnia was stunning to me. Now, I hate The Dark Knight. I admit it has some great things, but I have admitted I hate the movie. But for a lot of good reasons that I have argued about. And you have even said I had valid points. To you, they weren't valid, but to a fan of the series,
Yes.
they were valid points.
I can accept them, but I won't agree with
Okay,
them.
now, The Dark Knight Rises. The movie itself had more flaws than The Dark Knight. Extreme flaws. But I love the film compared to Dark Knight. Begins still my favorite, but this was a close second.
He's a Scarecrow fanatic.
I am a Scarecrow fan, but I even said Bane beat Scarecrow.
Okay.
Bane was the best part of this film. And here comes argument number one. I hated Anne Hathaway.
Oh, here we go.
Marcus, switch seats with him so we can have
Yes, yes.
safety.
Yeah. Get over there.
For once, I'm not the one in the freaking targets.
Now, basically, just to be fair, Marcus, this is basically like Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. Marcus, welcome to the fight.
Alright guys, well, a nice good clean fight here. No eye gouging, no rabid punches, and no groin hits. Alright? Ding ding.
What's your argument about Catwoman?
After she turned into Catwoman, she sucked. The only thing that was good about her was the fact that she looked hot. But the thing was with Catwoman, and you even said this was true, she was written the latter half of the production.
Yes, it is true,
And
but
it
she was
showed.
written well.
I totally disagree. It showed she was written.
The character was written exactly the way that Catwoman is supposed to be portrayed.
I totally disagree. Michelle Pfeiffer
No,
portrayed her
no,
closest.
no, 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 no.
Yes,
Michelle
yes,
Pfeiffer
yes.
was a completely made-up character. There is no comic book arc where Catwoman is like that.
But hey, at least it wasn't Halle Berry. Can we agree on that?
How dare you?
How dare you
that
bring
up?
up that movie?
Can we agree on that? At least.
Fine, yes.
Okay, good.
Alright, round one. Catwoman, Anne Hathaway. Goes to RJ. Round
Fuck!
two.
Yes! Round two. Bane. Bane was stunning.
Yes.
But he had some problems. And these are going to be some really valid points in my opinion. One, the fact that Bane got a little too cartoonish in the voice did bug me sometimes.
Okay.
It got a little too cartoonish, especially since when the film opened, and I hope I got some fans here who will agree with this, I was sitting there going, why is Sean Connery voicing Tom Hardy?
Okay. I can go into this a little bit that I will agree. It did feel a little cartoony, but when he seriously tried to be threatening, I felt threatened. Like, he played it so well. Even with a cartoony voice, he was so intense.
For 98% of the film, I agree. There's a few scenes when he spoke, I was like, but, and here's the cool thing, and why I like Bane, especially since everyone knows I do not like the Joker from The Dark Knight. I just don't. When Bane spoke, you saw in his eyes that
Yes.
he meant it. And that's what blew me away so much. Tom Hardy backed up every threat he gave. And to me, that was the most badass thing ever.
That's proof that Tom Hardy is such a talented actor.
It shows he's a good, up-and-coming talented actor. Because, you know what, with this is a good role to get him even bigger. And I'm very happy, but...
With this and Bronson, I'll say he's probably the best up-and-comer.
One of the best. I'm still gonna say he's one of the best.
Okay.
But no one saw Bronson. Bronson barely got a release. It's a fan favorite that if you know about it, it's excellent.
Yes.
Which is good for him. But the couple of things that did bother me with Bane, and again, this is the spoiler-heavy review.
Yes.
Bane's death sucked so much ass that I literally said, Nolan, you fucked up so hard here.
I agree 100%.
I say yes, the death could have been better, but not for the reason why you hate it.
It sucked. The fact that Bane literally just goes, now I can kill... Catwoman just fires a rocket at his chest. I'm like,
why are you angry?
Why am I angry? Because Bane deserves better. After that entire thing, Bane deserves something better.
We talked about this.
The fact that I wanted the fact that Batman and Bane fought to the death.
I love that Batman did not kill Bane because Batman does not kill people.
No, he doesn't, but in this Batman universe that Nolan does, I can see it happening. Especially with it being the end of the series and them supposedly bringing in a new person, it would make more sense that he...
Here's the thing. With that part of the ending, that first part of the ending, and then the following with the whole frickin' nuke going off, and then Michael Caine and all that shit with his seeing Bruce Wayne in Florence. Okay, Batman killing Bane with a fight to the death to actually validate the previous fights that they had throughout the film would have worked with the death of Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
But with him alive
is what should have happened.
Yes.
Because, okay, people bitch about nuking the fridge. Okay, there are fanboys out here. I get it, you are fanboys. But look at this, guys. I'm a fanboy of Batman, but I don't give two shits. He cannot survive a 6-mile nuclear explosion. Especially since the camera showed him in the cockpit while he's starting to head out to sea. So you gotta think, there's no freaking way he would have made it out in time.
I do think that could have been structured better, like if they would have shown just a little something that would have hinted on him getting out sooner, not 10. Because they did, as soon as they show him in the cockpit, it cuts to the clock saying like 5 seconds. If it cut to the clock saying like a minute, I would have been like, okay, that would have 100% been possible.
Judge, who wins that round?
Screw the how. It's just the fact that they kept him alive. I felt it was a cop-out. That round, I give it a draw. Round 3.
Alright. Round 3. And this is the one I'm going to say. It is the writing in this film. Holy fucking hell, were there so many problems in this film. And, I mean, like I said, from a 1 to 10, I still give this movie a 9. Because I was so... I mean, I'm nitpicking here, but I have to nitpick these things because by Nolan standards, he made Schumacher moves in this film.
Whoa!
He did.
Whoa!
He made Schumacher moves.
Whoa!
Get ready to troll
Fuck this game. Fuck this.
Whoa, to your corners. To your corners.
We'll be right back.
Alright.
Back to the round. Now, I will apologize for bringing up the S word. I will apologize. We'll just call it the S move from now on. Not to trigger happy anyone out there.
You're not allowed to bring them up at all.
Oh, I'm sorry, but there was a few in there.
Name one.
There were certain aspects, there were certain recipes that could have spelled out the perfect S-word dish.
Now, here's something. Just keep this ready so Josh doesn't lunge at me. Thank you. Josh doesn't lunge at me. Number 1. And this is the one that there's there's 3 big ones. The first one, Batman escapes from the hole. Next scene, I'm in Gotham. Hi, Catwoman. And people are like, well, he's a billionaire. He had no money, no assets, no technology. No one should have explained that instead of the whole 21 days later bullshit.
Go on. What's your third one?
No, my second one. That was only the first one.
Okay.
Second one. Bane is ruling the city for about how long? By the time he gets back, how long?
5 or 6 months.
5 or 6 months. Yet he could not find the bat on a rooftop with a shitty, really shitty tarp over the top of one of the buildings. It was so stupid. Like, that to me is the epitome of what an S move is. Is to say, Bane never found it yet. Bane overturned everything in that entire place for that. And the last one, and I think this is the one that pisses me off to no end, this is the thing, is the 2 deaths. And that will always be in there, is Bane's death and what's-her-name's death. The fact that Bane just gets shot and the girl just goes, "You'll never do." That was more annoying than anything. If you're going to build up all these people for some great things, do it. Do not throw it away. And actually there's a 4th. The horrible exposition in the first hour of the film, to where I almost called the entire ending. Michael Caine's speech about France. You knew it was going to happen.
Florence.
Exactly. Whatever. The fact that when Bruce Wayne and the girl are making love, they show the scar on her back. So to any fan, you know what that scar is. Gave it away from the very beginning. They should have saved that. And I actually do think they should have made Bane just stay as Ra's al Ghul's kid. I really do. Personally. But it was one of those things, everything came together to where you could figure out the entire ending pretty quick. And I think that's what annoyed me most. Especially since they kept saying, autopilot, autopilot, autopilot. 10,000 times where you knew, okay, he fixed the autopilot. We all knew he did.
Okay. What?
Move over.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's bring it home.
I'm going to round it all together here. Okay? All those ideas, all the things you brought up are nitpicking. You will admit that.
One is
No,
major not nitpicking, the other one's yes.
I will say that all those, to me, are nitpicking. All those can be resolved with the one sentence. It's all about the concept, not about the actions. It's all about discussing the idea and what this movie was meant to show. They didn't need to show him getting into Gotham. They need to show him bringing back Gotham. People don't need to see that Bane couldn't find the tarp. People just needed to see that it was there and that he could find it. All of those are totally unnecessary nitpicking, in my opinion, because the film was so much bigger than those.
Now, you had a nitpick last night, did you not? What was your nitpick?
I do think at times this film should have been rated R.
Okay.
And that is because of the Bane's death and Talia al Ghul's death.
But there was another thing you were nitpicking about last night. You said this is major nitpicking, but I think it was Batman's voice you were talking about?
Oh, when he talks to himself, he's talking in the voice. That can also be...
But it's also the fact that everyone knows who Batman is by that film, and he knows everyone knows, but yet he still speaks in the Batman voice. Is kind of lame. It's like, literally, you all know I'm Bruce Wayne. He should talk to him in the Bruce Wayne voice, not be like... And especially when Bruce is beat the shit out of Bane at the very end, I thought they fixed the Batman voice. I was so happy. And then he grabs Bane and does the death growl.
See, here's the thing about all RJ's arguments. If you're just a fan of the franchise, those things won't even come to mind when you watch the movie. You can watch this so many times and not even care about those.
See, that's the thing. I'm not a fanboy.
Yeah.
I'm watching it as a person who loves films, which is, I think, a better thing, because fanboys take things a little too seriously in those things. There are major mistakes in the movie. I mean, it's like, no movie should be safe because you're a fanboy. Like, I love Spawn. I'm a fanboy of Spawn, but you can rip that to next Tuesday, am I right?
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. That's going to be the argument till the end of time, especially with films. It's a person who loves movies versus a fanboy of a comic book.
Well, I'll say a fanboy of these films. I personally love this franchise. Not the Batman franchise, the Nolan universe of Batman franchise.
No, I totally understand it, and I do agree. But I think sometimes fanboys take it a little too far and thinking everything is perfect in a film when there are major problems with the film.
And to bring it all home, as a person who enjoys film but can also suspend their disbelief to be succumbed into the world of the film, there are certain things that can be nitpicked and made very relevant, and then there are things that you just need to go along with so that you can enjoy the essence of what is being brought to you. So, round 3, it goes to me.
Now that was a total like South Park moment, by the way. I just want to say that. I was like a total freaking South Park moment. But
Smack!
Yeah, right. I do want to say this though. Did I really like the movie? I do really, really, really enjoy this film. I didn't have the problems I had are nitpicking, but there are obvious things I think that should be mentioned. Not as a fan or as a critic, but there were some problems with this movie.
I'd say 1 or 2.
I'd say a little bit more, but again, that's to each opinion. But it's a good film. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad they did Bane right. And all the other, it was a very good film. Marcus?
Alright, this has been a very intense and very back and forth debate. So, we're going to go ahead, repeat our ratings that we had, and then we're going to get RJ's review rating for the video.
See this? 1. Alright.
My score for The Dark Knight Rises, and as time passed, I can still say this. Well, a lot of times my ratings change as time passes. But my rating for this film is still at a 5 spuds out of 5 spuds. I got everything I wanted and then some from this film. The end.
Mine originally was 4 spuds out of 5 spuds. But given recent events and different opinions, different things brought to light, and through very thorough discussion, I give it a 5.5, but not a 5. Because of certain flaws that...
Oh yeah, 5.5.
4.5.
Math be good, Marcus.
Die!
Alright, now, with mine, and this is the true thing, it's a 4. It was a very good movie, but by no means was it perfect. I enjoyed it very much. Who knows? It might go higher. I'm actually going to see it again tonight with a friend of mine who hasn't seen it yet. So we'll see exactly how good it is the second time. Maybe I'll like it more the second time. But thank you very much for listening in. I hope you know my lungs will live and Josh's throat will live and Marcus dies. But we had a great time, a very heated great time, talking about The Dark Knight and reviewing it a little bit. We are the Couch Potatoes. May the spud be with you.
May the spud be with you.
Where's the trigger? For those people who are sitting here thinking I'm bashing this film because I could not stand it,
Why is it so hot?
Mom! Are you freaking kidding me?
What?